The modern world feels like a massive stage, doesn't it? Everyone is holding a megaphone, shouting, "I'm here, I made it, look at me." Social media feeds, brand logos, curated lifestyles, all of it serves a single purpose: validation. People are subtly taught to believe that their value is measured by what they display. And yet, in the middle of this noise, this endless pressure to perform, there is a figure most people overlook. Maybe they're sitting in the quietest corner of a cafe, wearing the same slightly faded t-shirt they've owned for years. Their phone isn't the latest model. Their car exists only to move them from point A to point B. When the bill arrives, there's no dramatic gesture. Maybe they even count the change. From the outside, they look worn down by life, like someone barely making it to the end of the month. But in reality, that person, there in the cafe, on the street, or in the office, might be the most financially secure one in the room. Their bank balance stands in sharp contrast to their visible lifestyle. Maybe you know this person, the quiet co-worker, the unremarkable neighbor. Or maybe, as you listen, you're realizing that person is you. And if it is you, you've probably sensed the question, spoken or unspoken: why? Why don't you display your comfort, your power, your status? Why choose to look like a traveler when you could live like an emperor? Tonight, we're going to explore the psychology behind that silence. People tend to believe what they see. So when they encounter someone who is wealthy yet lives modestly, the labels appear quickly. Cheap. They don't know how to enjoy life. They have money, but they're poor in spirit. Sometimes the judgment goes further. Fearful, lacking vision. Because in many cultures, success is only considered real when it's visible. But this interpretation is deeply misleading. Living below one's financial capacity is not a lack of ambition or enjoyment. In many cases, it is a strategic psychological choice. It can be understood as a modern adaptation of the survival instinct, because increased visibility raises social risk, emotional exposure, and the likelihood of exploitation. What others interpret as lack is often a psychological defense mechanism, specifically a form of boundary setting and emotional self-protection. This isn't about hiding wealth. It's about protecting one's psychological boundaries from manipulation, projection, and unwanted expectations. So why does power sometimes choose invisibility? One key concept here is instrumental relationship anxiety, the fear of being valued not for who you are, but for what you provide. When wealth becomes visible, relationships often change. People may not even realize they're doing it, but behavior shifts. Smiles become calculated. Compliments become strategic. Conversations become transactional. You are no longer simply a friend, partner, or relative. You become a resource. By appearing average, a powerful psychological filter is created. When you dress simply and people still engage with you, you know the connection is real. This reflects a search for genuine connection, one of the few psychological needs that money alone cannot reliably fulfill. Another central factor is the need for autonomy and the desire for invisibility. Psychology describes something called the spotlight effect, the tendency to feel constantly observed. For individuals with visible wealth, this isn't imagined, it's situational. Wealth attracts attention. Attention brings judgment, expectations, and envy. Once the label rich is applied, a social script forms. Why don't they help? Why aren't they paying? Why don't they buy the best? These expectations function as invisible restraints. By choosing social invisibility, external expectations decrease, allowing greater behavioral and emotional autonomy. By becoming no one, you gain the freedom to simply be human. This behavior doesn't always originate from conscious strategy. For some people, its roots lie in early experiences, witnessing money divide families, seeing inheritance turn into conflict, learning early that visibility attracts danger. The subconscious absorbs a simple rule: if you want to be safe, don't stand out. In these cases, wealth may carry guilt, a subtle discomfort with ease in a world full of struggle. Psychologically, this is often referred to as wealth guilt. This path has costs. Loneliness is one of them. Not being able to share success openly, downplaying achievements, feeling misunderstood, even by those close to you. Over time, this can blur identity, living cautiously inside a life you technically earned. However, there is also strength here. By disengaging from display-based validation, you escape one of modern psychology's most common traps: the dependence on external approval. While others assert their worth through symbols, you experience value internally. This is not denial, it is emotional regulation. Although it may look like a mask, it often reflects a more self-aware and internally aligned identity. If you recognized yourself in this, understand this clearly. You are not cheap. You are not afraid. You are exercising psychological independence. Choosing to live modestly can represent a high level of autonomy from wealth, when it comes from choice, not fear. Money does not define you, nor does it control you. Psychologically, this represents a return to internal alignment, where identity is no longer dependent on external symbols. This trait is not a flaw, it is a rare advantage. It sharpens your ability to read people, it filters sincerity, it protects emotional space. Real power doesn't need constant proof. It rests quietly, available when necessary. This isn't escape, it's regulation, it's clarity, it's self-trust. Let the world remain loud. In your quiet, you are not lacking. You are grounded, and psychologically speaking, you are exactly where you need to be.